You have your own divine team of angels and guides that are waiting for you to learn the language of communicating with them. And it's really not that hard. And so we've been talking about this a lot on this channel in the past 2 months, ever since I started posting on here. And I feel like the most recent or the most frequent comment, also this lighting is very interesting. I'm here in Portugal at a really cool campsite. Finally, the like-minded individuals, I have found them. It's yoga and wellness and spirituality and vegan food and organic food. I'm in shock that I found this, because I've been in Europe for like 4 months now. Right? Yeah, 4 months. Wow. And so I've been enjoying, Italy, Switzerland, France, Spain, now Portugal. And I just really figured what I value a lot is being surrounded by people who are like-minded. There's so many beautiful landscape places. This light just keeps changing up, so we're here for it, I guess. But Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, so beautiful. Lake, gorgeous. It's where I did my treatment for Lyme disease. It's where I got my life back in a lot of ways. And so I was like, I love it here. My ex and I were like, maybe we'll move here. But just the way of thinking there was not similar to my way of thinking. And if you're watching this, then you're probably a lot like me. You're probably pretty sensitive to the energies and the frequencies and everything going on Earth in your human experience. And so I found that I'm very affected by the people and energies around us. And that's something we can talk about later, is there are ways to protect yourself, to make it so that you're not susceptible to taking on other people's things, especially their thoughts. That's something that has been so in my face, in my head, really, recently, is it's a gift. But I will literally, if I'm around people, it's almost like I'm connected by a cord, which cord cutting is very important too. Another thing we can talk about later, all these things. This is why I post every day right now, because so many things are coming through. But it's like we're connected by a cord, and so I will hear them it almost, I don't know if I'm making it up. I'm not crazy. I know other people have this too, but I can hear their conversations, and I can turn it off, and I can be like, I disconnect from this person, these people that I encountered, and then it goes off. But I shared this recently too, but I was in IKEA and I was picking out stuff for the van that I just bought here. And when I was home, or at my family's house in Barcelona, my cousin's house, I was decorating in here, and I was like, how am I hearing these conversations? They were in French, they were in Spanish. I was like, I don't even speak these languages, but I'm clearly hearing these conversations. And I've been around it enough to identify what language it is, but it was words that I couldn't memorize if I tried. And so it's that sensitivity is wow. And I think that number one, before I was in the United States, so I would hear these thoughts often. This is actually a little bit different, but we often will pick up other people's stuff, and we will be thinking their thoughts, right? And we will be thinking that they're ours. So it's you go to the restaurant and someone's serving you, and she's having a horrible day. She just went through a breakup. She's having a lot of dark thoughts. And then you leave, you're like, oh wow, life's hard, my heart is broken. And you pick up all these things that you just don't even realize. And then you're thinking that way. And then our thoughts dictate how we choose and how we act and how we create our life. And so it's a gift, but we do need to learn how to control it in those scenarios. So just disconnecting, creating boundaries, energetic boundaries, whatnot. But we're going to get into the topic now of this video, where it's knowing that you're a spiritual being, having a human experience, and knowing that you have these abilities. Everybody has psychic abilities. Everybody has the ability to communicate with their divine team of the highest truth. And so this is specifically how I do it, and there are many ways that you can do it, but So number one is getting into mindful meditation. And so my process of developing this, because it's been there, but over the past year it's been so much stronger. And my mom is a spiritual healer. I'm also so sorry if that's loud, or of course just started construction over there. It's interesting because when like the messages of the highest truth try to come through, things like this often happen. I feel like it happens all the time with my videos whenever I try to communicate things like this, or like when my mom was giving a speech at an event one time. It was like as soon as she was doing the 5D upgrade for the audience, it was like she could not stop coughing. And all these spiritual friends of hers and people that were there were saying like there were certain energies trying to block the message and the frequencies from coming through. And so we'll just always go with the flow and always do our best to continue to move with the light and move with the love to get to the places that we're meant to get to. There are balancing forces, but we can always turn to light and protect ourselves with our free will and choose to move through. And so mindful meditation, what is that? It's following your breath, it's becoming aware, maybe it's following a word or whatever it is. I like to go in and it's changed a bit, but at first I would focus in breathing in truth, breathing out authenticity for 15 minutes. Truth, authenticity, truth, authenticity. I'm just thinking that word and I'm just watching that word as I do it. And then you kind of get into a trance. You can just watch your breath. Abraham Hicks likes to talk about how Esther Hicks will listen to the AC unit. That's never really worked for me. I also don't always have AC. Most of the time I don't. So, but you can, like, there's noises around that maybe you can focus on if it's pretty stable. Sometimes you can hear like a noise in your head. Like I tried this before and I was like, wow, there's actually like little like ding, boo, like tiny little noises that you can find within your mind somehow when you get in there. So it just takes some like practice, finding a mindful meditation practice. And I've seen some of you say like, okay, I meditate, I do mindful meditation, how do I connect? So once you get to that point, that's really important to get there, because then we're getting centered. We're getting in alignment with the three, the divine union of the mind, the soul, and the body. And from there, momentum has stopped, which is like the momentum of unconscious pulling us in directions all over the place. Like, oh, maybe I need to work harder. Oh, maybe I need to text this person. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's just coming back to center. It's much easier to connect from this place. If I try to have a conversation with my angels and guides after like a really hectic day or whatever, it's very difficult if I don't do some kind of centering first. And then I go into the place of, which my mom taught me this, where, and I've seen a lot of other spiritual people start doing this as well, where it's you connect down with your attention down to the center of the earth, and you bring it up through your heart, up through your crown chakra, up to the one infinite creator. So again, you connect down to the center of the earth, up through your heart, up to the one infinite creator, the truth of who you are, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, the highest dimension possible, and bring it back down through your heart. And your attention is on your heart now, with that connection anchored down, anchored up. And so it's like you're in this perfect alignment. And then from here, you expand your consciousness out to the entire universe. So you can start small. Joe Dispenza also talks about this, like the spatial awareness, like expanding your awareness out and out and out helps so much with creating. And so we want to, and like just getting in touch and becoming like so able to communicate and all this stuff. So you expand out to the room, to the state or the county or whatever you're in, and then out to the whole country, the whole planet, the whole universe. And getting a phone call. And then from this place, you can call forward your divine team. So I would say I call forward my divine team of the highest truth. Okay, like who, I will often say like who has a message for me today. And then we'll see who comes forward. Let's just see who comes forward. Okay, so it's one of my guides. I've been getting to know my guides. And so this is the process too that I would suggest you start with, is getting to know each guide. So every time I would do this in the beginning, is like I would meet a guide and they would take me on a journey and show me, about themselves, about how we're connected, about what planets we've been on, and all this stuff. And so, and their purpose for me in this life, and like what they are here to help me achieve and do. And so this guide that's here with me right now coming forward is this really special guide. I mean, phone just filled up on storage. So silly. I have that 2 terabyte iCloud thing, but somehow it just doesn't work. So every day I'm like deleting things in order to make these videos. Again, another little roadblock, but it's all good. So this angel, or this guy that comes forward today, is this guy that is like so masculine energy and is like my protector, and he like shows me that he's almost like a ninja, like he's like in the corners, in the shadows, like always protecting me no matter what. And so he's just shown me how like I'm always safe, and whenever I'm like walking around or doing this solo travel and I feel fear, to lean into him, to ask for guidance, and to be reassured that he's always there. And so we've built this communication in this relationship, and so it's been really cool. And he's shown me other lifetimes that we've been in together, and like they multiple of them have just told me like why they agreed to be my guide in this life. And so like I don't even know how many guides I have that I like know at this level. But right now I think it's like 6 or 7 that I really know at this level. The Law of One talks about how you just have one, not specifically like just one, but it says that that material says that you are given a guide in this life. And so explore it for yourself, see what comes through. One of my friends and I started doing some work together, and her gifts have been like opening up amazingly, and she's so funny. And so like her guides appeared to her one time when we were working, and she screamed because she could like see them, and they were like I think it was one fairy or multiple. And it was just like so incredible, because like with the mind's eye to be able to finally see something like that, it's really special. And so experiment with it. And again, to make it simple, it's get connected, centered with mindful meditation. I would say do 15 minutes, and then connect down to the center of the earth, up through your heart, up to the one infinite creator, back through your heart, expand out to the entire universe, call forward your divine team of the highest truth, and see who comes forward. Say, what angel or guide of mine would like to come forward today? And then see who comes forward. See what you see, hear, feel, sense, anything. And just explore that with an open mind. Don't become attached to stories about what you're seeing. Don't try to change it. One time recently when I was doing a past life regression meditation type thing that a friend of mine had sent to me, that she made, it was the first thing I saw. I forget what it was. It was like webbed feet or something. I was like, no, no way. There's no way. Those are my feet. So ego got involved. I made stories about it, and then I jumped to a different timeline or a different past life. And so, but that was the one that was trying to come through. And so we don't want to control, just let it be what it's meant to be, and then you get to witness so much. And then after you're doing that, I would do that once a day, like just starting to get to know them, holding space for getting to know who's there to support you and guide you within this life. And maybe like you spend, like, it seems like chapters of my life I'll spend more time communicating with one more than the rest of them. And so in those, I'll say who wants to come forward, or I'll ask one of them specifically to come forward, and then I will like ask questions, either what message do you have for me today, or specifically like going on in my life, like how do I get through this, what decision is for my highest good to make about this thing going on right now, and then seeing what they say or show me, or what I feel in their presence and in that. And so everybody experiences differently. Like my mom does not have the ability to like see with her mind's eye, is how she explains it. Other people are so visual. Other people sense things. Like one of my mom's friends who funny. My phone's extra full today or something. Okay, we're back. So one of my mom's friends that she works with, her gift is like seeing and hearing and communicating, but also feeling, or not, yeah, feeling. And so these beings that they work with that are here to support my mom in her soul contract, they just feel like this higher dimension, this like unconditional love. They feel probably very similar to like ecstasy or something, you know? And so when her friend and her are working together, this friend is like able to be in this like heavenly feeling, and she's like, this is like the most blissful. It keeps filling up. This is so funny. So she feels all the blissed out feelings, whatnot. I'm just trying to get through this message now because I really want to get this out, and I don't like starting over, because every time I feel like I should start over on a video, at the end of it, like I'm like, oh, no one's gonna like this isn't maybe how I planned for it to come through. Those videos seem to do the best and help people the most and reach the most people. And so it's like I'm just learning in my own journey to trust the process, and that seems to be like my message that often comes through, is just connect with the angels and guides, with my angels and guides, connect with my soul, my purpose, and move forward from that place, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you question yourself, when your mind questions itself. Just say, no, if I'm doing this from a place of truth and alignment, then it is what it's meant to be, and that's all I'm meant to do. And just like continuously deconditioning and moving away from how we think things are meant to be, and allowing ourselves to step into this new timeline of this alignment and this guidance will let you live the life that is like your highest potential of health, wellness, or health, happiness, abundance. And so that's what I'm here to share with you, how you can have that for yourself. And so again, I know it's a lot a lot of things came through in this one, but specifically if you're trying to communicate with your angels and guides, many ways to do it, but I would just suggest mindful meditation. Down, connect down, down, up, 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 through your heart, out to the entire universe. Call them forward, get to know them, do this every day, spend time with them, ask them questions, ask them for signs, but specifically ask them for questions. Learn to communicate. It will be different for you. Mine is visual, and like I can hear them like it's like a thought, almost like not through my ear. Like I know medical medium, from what I was reading from his stuff, is like like he could hear things like through his ear, almost like they were like talking to him. So we all have different gifts, so explore them for yourself, and let me know if you have any comments, any thoughts on this in the comments below. Give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.